Welcome to Speak Peak English. Today, Mr. Peter is going to tell us about his busy working days routine with some new vocabulary. We will also learn the difference between the present continuous tense and the present perfect continuous tense today. And it's the best opportunity to practice both listening and speaking skills. Let's begin. Listen carefully.
My working days routine. The busiest days of the week. Hey, it's Peter. Let me walk you through my typical weekdays, which pretty much follow the same routine from Monday to Friday. My day starts early at 6:30 a.m. when my alarm clock rings. I usually hit the snooze button a couple of times before finally getting out of bed. Once I'm up, I stretch my arms and legs and splash some cold water on my face to wake myself up fully. It's not always easy to shake off that morning grogginess, but I managed to do it. Breakfast is a simple affair, just some toast and coffee to start the day. While I munch on my toast, I check my emails on my phone, catching up on any messages that have come in overnight. Then, it's time to head out the door and hop into my car. The commute to the office takes about half an hour, and I usually spend the time listening to music or a podcast to pass the time. Once I arrive at the office around 8:30 a.m., it's straight to work. I check my schedule for the day, respond to any urgent emails, and get ready for any meetings I have scheduled. Despite the busy morning, I try to stay focused and motivated throughout the morning. I typically have meetings with clients and colleagues. We discuss the progress of various projects, brainstorm ideas, and make plans for the day ahead. It's a collaborative process that I really enjoy, and I always come away from these meetings feeling energized and inspired. By midday, I'm usually feeling pretty hungry, so it's time for a quick lunch break. I usually grab a sandwich from the deli down the street and eat at my desk while I catch up on some reading or review documents for upcoming projects. Despite the hustle and bustle of the lunch hour, I try to take a few moments to relax and recharge before diving back into work. Afternoons are typically filled with more meetings, phone calls, and design work. I might spend some time drafting plans for a new project or making revisions to existing designs based on client feedback. It's a busy time, but I enjoy the creative process and the sense of accomplishment that comes with seeing a project come together. As the end of the workday approaches, I start to wind down and wrap up any loose ends. I make sure to respond to any final emails, tidy up my workspace, and jot down any important tasks for the next day. By the time I leave the office around 6 p.m., I'm usually feeling a mix of exhaustion and satisfaction, tired from a long day of work, but proud of everything I've accomplished. Heading home, I'm looking forward to some well-deserved relaxation time with my family. Whether it's cooking dinner together, watching a movie, or just enjoying each other's company, I cherish these moments of downtime after a busy day. And as I crawl into bed at night, I know that tomorrow will bring another day of challenges and opportunities, but for now it's time to rest and recharge for whatever lies ahead.
After listening to Mr. Peter's routine for his working days, let's explore some new vocabulary from the story to enhance our vocabulary skills. It's time for word exploration. 1. Snooze. Definition: to briefly sleep for a short period of time after waking up, usually by pressing a button on an alarm clock to delay waking up. Example from the story: Peter hits the snooze button a couple of times before getting out of bed in the morning. Example from real life: when my alarm goes off in the morning, I often hit the snooze button to give myself a few extra minutes of sleep before getting up. 2. Shake off. Definition: to get rid of or remove something, such as tiredness or sleepiness, by making an effort to become more alert or awake. Example from the story: despite feeling groggy, Peter manages to shake off his morning tiredness by splashing cold water on his face. Example from real life: after a long flight, I need to shake off my jet lag by going for a walk and getting some fresh air. 3. Morning grogginess. Definition: the feeling of being tired, sluggish, or drowsy after waking up in the morning. Example from the story. Peter experiences morning grogginess when he first wakes up, but he quickly gets rid of it by getting ready for the day. Example from real life. I often feel morning grogginess when I wake up early for work, but a cup of coffee usually helps me feel more awake. 4. Podcast. Definition. A digital audio file or program that is available for streaming or downloading over the internet, typically consisting of episodes on various topics or themes. Example from the story. Peter listens to podcasts during his commute to the office to pass the time. Example from real life. I enjoy listening to podcasts while I'm doing chores around the house or going for a walk. 5. Wind down. Definition. To relax or calm down after a period of activity or excitement, often in preparation for sleep or rest. Example from the story. Peter winds down at the end of the workday by responding to final emails and tidying up his workspace. Example from real life. After a long day at work, I like to wind down by taking a hot bath and reading a book before bed. 6. Jot down. Definition. To quickly write something down, usually in a brief or informal manner. Example from the story. Peter jots down any important tasks for the next day before leaving the office. Example from real life. When I have an idea or reminder, I often jot it down in a notebook so I don't forget it later. 7. Deli down. Definition. A casual eatery or small restaurant that serves sandwiches, salads, and other prepared foods, often with a focus on quick service. Example from the story. Peter grabs a sandwich from the deli down the street for lunch during his workday. Example from real life. When I'm in a rush or don't feel like cooking, I'll often pick up a salad or sandwich from the deli down the block. 8. Brainstorm. Definition. To generate a large number of creative ideas or solutions to a problem, often through open and spontaneous discussion with others. Example from the story. Peter and his colleagues brainstorm ideas during their morning meetings to come up with innovative solutions for their projects. Example from real life. When planning a party, my friends and I like to brainstorm themes and activities to make it fun and memorable for everyone. Well done. We've learned some new vocabulary words. Now it's time to learn the difference between the present continuous tense and present perfect continuous tense. Let's continue. Present continuous tense. Use when describing actions happening right now or around the present moment. Think of it like a snapshot of the present moment, capturing what's currently going on. It's formed with the present tense of am, is or are, followed by the present participle, which is the verb ending in ing. Example. I am watching TV. This action is happening right now as we speak. Example. She is reading a book. This action is occurring at this moment. Present perfect continuous tense. Use when describing actions that started in the past and are still continuing in the present or have recently stopped. Think of it like a movie reel, showing the ongoing action from the past up to the present moment. Formed with have or has depending on the subject followed by been, and then the present participle, the verb ending in ing. Example. I have been watching TV for 2 hours. This indicates the action started in the past and is still going on. Example. She has been reading a book since yesterday. This suggests the action started in the past and is still happening now. Now it's the final round. Let's practice both listening and speaking skills together with a repeat after me session. Are you ready? Let's continue.
My working days routine. The busiest days of the week. Hey, it's Peter. Let me walk you through my typical weekdays, which pretty much follow the same routine from Monday to Friday. My day starts early at 6:30 a.m. when my alarm clock rings. I usually hit the snooze button a couple of times before finally getting out of bed. Once I'm up, I stretch my arms and legs and splash some cold water on my face to wake myself up fully. It's not always easy to shake off that morning grogginess, but I manage to do it. Breakfast is a simple affair, just some toast and coffee to start the day. While I munch on my toast, I check my emails on my phone, catching up on any messages that have come in overnight. Then, it's time to head out the door and hop into my car. The commute to the office takes about half an hour, and I usually spend the time listening to music or a podcast to pass the time. Once I arrive at the office around 8:30 a.m., it's straight to work. I check my schedule for the day, respond to any urgent emails, and get ready for any meetings I have scheduled. Despite the busy morning, I try to stay focused and motivated. Throughout the morning, I typically have meetings with clients and colleagues. We discuss the progress of various projects, brainstorm ideas, and make plans for the day ahead. It's a collaborative process that I really enjoy, and I always come away from these meetings feeling energized and inspired. By midday, I'm usually feeling pretty hungry, so it's time for a quick lunch break. I usually grab a sandwich from the deli down the street and eat at my desk while I catch up on some reading or review documents for upcoming projects. Despite the hustle and bustle of the lunch hour, I try to take a few moments to relax and recharge before diving back into work. Afternoons are typically filled with more meetings, phone calls, and design work. I might spend some time drafting plans for a new project or making revisions to existing designs based on client feedback. It's a busy time, but I enjoy the creative process and the sense of accomplishment that comes with seeing a project come together. As the end of the workday approaches, I start to wind down and wrap up any loose ends. I make sure to respond to any final emails, tidy up my workspace, and jot down any important tasks for the next day. By the time I leave the office around 6 p.m., I'm usually feeling a mix of exhaustion and satisfaction, tired from a long day of work, but proud of everything I've accomplished. Heading home, I'm looking forward to some well-deserved relaxation time with my family. Whether it's cooking dinner together, watching a movie, or just enjoying each other's company, I cherish these moments of downtime after a busy day. And as I crawl into bed at night, I know that tomorrow will bring another day of challenges and opportunities, but for now it's time to rest and recharge for whatever lies ahead.
That's it for today's lesson. I hope you've picked up some new knowledge. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more. Always remember, practice leads to perfection, so keep practicing. Until we meet again.